Hi, this is your teacher, Paul. It's September 29th, 2020, and I'm just experimenting with live streaming. I assume that this somehow connects to my channel. And I've tried this before. It's been a while since trying this, but usually I just make videos. It's easier to make a video and then edit it later, take out all the bad parts. But I suppose this could be kind of interesting. And it looks like people are showing up. I have no idea where you're coming from. I assume it's YouTube. You're on YouTube and you're watching a video, or maybe you're on my channel, and then this live stream link pops up, and then you can watch whatever it is I'm doing. So lately, I've been very busy with my regular classes because I'm a classroom teacher and I teach adults here in the United States English, but main focus is on English for students who are working on their high school diplomas. So we get students from Somalia, Mexico, Vietnam, Cambodia, Egypt, really everywhere. And they're working on their diplomas, their high school diplomas, so that they can go on to college. It's possible they didn't have the opportunity to take classes or go to school in the country that they're from, but once they come to the United States, then we can make this available to them. And it doesn't cost them anything. The state that I live in provides adults with a free education up to grade 12. So I was just looking at the feed here, and people arriving from listening to me now. I see Laura from Spain, Nihat, Eduardo, Ethan, Taru, Abbas, Princess Amira, Masha. So lately I've been working on my regular classes, and I haven't had a chance to really spend time making new videos. So I thought I should probably get on here and just say a few words about that and experiment with this live function, which I have tried in the past, and I didn't like it very much because it's hard to edit. I mean, you can't edit. It's all live. It's the real thing. And, I don't want to waste anybody's time. That's why my videos are short. I just want to get the material out there, edit it, and then put it on YouTube. But there might be some things that I can do here that would be possibly interesting. I've seen what other people do on their live feeds, and I would probably do something maybe a little bit different from that. I can take ideas from people who come here and ask questions about English. I suppose I could maybe insert videos that I've made from that vast collection of videos I've made over the years. And wow, still a lot of people coming. I have no idea where you're from. Do you just hang out on YouTube and then this pops up? I assume that this is all coming from YouTube. Somebody from Greenland. That's interesting. It's 7:39 in the morning. I've been awake for a couple hours, just checking the news and working on my classes. There's a debate tonight. Donald Trump is debating Joe Biden, And I look forward to seeing that. So that's what's happening today. I'm just going to go over here and see what this is. I do have a whiteboard in my office. This is my office. And the whiteboard is right over there. That's where I make the videos. And this is where my computer is. I have another computer. I work with two computers at the same time. Yeah, when I wake up in the morning, I usually read the news online. I used to get the newspaper every day, and I'm too cheap to pay for a subscription, so I just read the news. It's a little bit easier, cheaper. I'm concerned that newspapers are going away, and that's unfortunate because they really have to be supported by people who buy the newspaper. There's no such thing as anything that's really free, that's of any value. The state that I live in Minnesota. So that's north. The border of Canada is to the north, and then there's the Dakotas on the west. Iowa is south, and Wisconsin is to the east. Minnesota is a nice state. A lot of people move here because of the quality of life. It's a fairly progressive state that provides good health services, education. Crime is relatively low. The taxes are a little higher here. So if you don't mind paying slightly higher taxes, then you'll get what you pay for. You know, in some states, there's nothing free. Free education or healthcare is not exactly free, really anywhere. You pay something, but the state makes it possible for people to have access to good healthcare, which is nice. Someone's asking me who I'll vote for. I'm going to vote for Biden. That's a no-brainer. There's no way I'd vote for Trump. He's such a liar. He's a cheat. He's a liar. He's a snake. He's a con man. I can't say anything good about him. Nothing. And hopefully he's gone. But even if he loses, I'm afraid he's going to try to stay. So see what happens. I'm a little concerned about our democracy. Feels like it's falling apart, but I think there are enough people who believe in it still that will be able to salvage it and come out of this. Someone's asking me about the people remaining vigilant in Minnesota, and they are. We have a relatively low COVID rate in the general population because everybody wears masks. I wear a mask all the time when I'm out, except when I'm on my bike. When I'm riding on my bike, I don't think it's necessary, or when I'm walking, there's nobody near me. But here's my mask, and I don't mind wearing it if it keeps other people safe. I hope you're wearing a mask when you go out. I get a lot of nice comments about being, an English teacher or the best, but just want to say that I'm not the best. Definitely not the best. There are a lot of better teachers out there on YouTube and elsewhere, but I try to help people when they have particular needs or issues with English, especially at the beginning level. I really like that beginning level and intermediate level. I work with advanced level students right now, And I like that, but I really like the challenge of working with people who are just learning English for the first time. That's really interesting. You know, how do people acquire vocabulary and or learn grammar, put words together? And as you get older, you know, it becomes more difficult, you know, to remember things. I have my own struggles trying to remember things, whether it's numbers or dates. I studied German, and I have a hard time remembering vocabulary in German. I play the guitar, and I have a hard time remembering things that I've learned on the guitar. But I think if you just keep on working at it, if you just do it again and again and again, and you're really focused and committed, then you should be able to achieve whatever it is that you want to do. So it's just a matter of how motivated you are. You know, how important is English to you? And I know it's an important language for many people, but you know, if you remain committed, if you really try hard, then you should be successful. Read as much as you possibly can. That's one bit of advice that I give to my students. Just try to read as much as possible. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a toothpaste tube, you know, read that. Or better would be the newspaper. English books are okay. Grammar books are fine, but then, you know, the focus is on grammar. I think if you read English and, you know, the English that you read is about something that you already know, if it's, for example, the history of your country, you know, if you read about the country that you live in English, that's pretty helpful because you already know something about your country. Just look at, I'm just rambling. I have no script, no idea what to talk about. My name is Paul. So I'm not sure how much longer I'm gonna do this morning. I just wanted to get on and put something out there because I do have to do some other work. Just looking through the comments. So interesting to see, you know, where people are from, and that you're there and I'm here, and this is instantaneous. That, you know, what I'm saying right now is going other places around the world, and it's instant. That's amazing. Couldn't imagine that when I was a kid growing up in the 70s, 60s and 70s. Someone from China. Gosh, always amazes me. It's a little intimidating. Yeah, I'm not sure how many. What do I see the count? How many people are on here? It's 71. Wow, that would be a big class. I've never taught 71, 73. Never taught 73 people all at once. My biggest class, I think, was 40 ever. You know, teaching literature at a high school. I think the largest class I got to was 40. But I've never given a lecture in a large lecture hall. I think that would be kind of interesting if I put something together. And of course, the YouTube videos, once something's put out there, I notice that a lot of people see it right away. And so that's interesting. The old videos that I made are terrible. I got to redo all of those. Eventually, I'll have time to do that. But right now, I really got to, like I said, I got to focus on the students I have from day to day. So the last video I made was on the verb be. I mentioned that was like the most important verb, you have to know how to use. And that's true. I think if you know how to use the verb be really well, that's a good starting point for anyone. But if you're intermediate to advanced, you really have to know how to use that verb well, because there are so many different applications for it, especially when you get into the passive voice. You use the verb be, and then there's the past participle. So that's one reason why I made that video, because I haven't made a video on that topic in a while. And then I've made some other material. I've created material for videos, but I haven't put it together yet. So sometimes what I do is I'll just put a lot of stuff on video using my cell phone or my camera. Oh, I got a new camera. Let me show you my new camera. So here's that. It's on a tripod. So this is a Canon EOS M50. I've got a microphone on top. And sometimes I use a lav mic, but this helps with the quality of the video. So I think you'll notice that the video quality is better on the newer videos, and then the audio should be better too. And if you look at those earlier videos, the video quality is terrible. The audio is bad. The lighting is bad. I was teaching on the computer and started to record, and that's how I started to do this without watching any other videos, without watching what other people did. I just decided I'm just going to do this. This is how I teach people, and then they could watch the videos at their leisure when they have time. But now, maybe if I can make something of it, just continue doing what I'm doing. I'd like to go on location, go different places and maybe involve other people. But for now, the easiest thing is just to have, me on the camera and then explaining things on a whiteboard, because that's what I do. That's what I've done for the last 30 years. So, I started teaching in 1989 in Chicago. And my first class, that was a pretty big class. That was maybe about 40, jam-packed into a classroom in Chicago. Half the class was Latino, the other half was Polish. So that's what you get in some parts of Chicago. You get really heavy concentrations of people from one particular part of the world, So in that area, it was people who were Spanish speaking, and then people who spoke Polish. And 1989, I had no experience. They just hired me on the spot on the day that I interviewed, and then threw me in the classroom, and I had to kind of learn how to do everything myself without any experience. Although I studied English in college, you never really know what you're doing until you start doing it, until you start interacting with students, until you start talking to students, and until you get an idea of who they are, where they're from, what their stories are. Then it's hard to make a decision about what to do. I think you really have to know who the students are before you decide what to teach them. And that makes YouTube a little difficult, because I don't know who you are unless I look at the chat and I can kind of get an idea. where you're from and how you're expressing yourself. And yeah, I'm talking about the methodology of teaching. And I've been doing this for over 30 years, and I'm still figuring that out. It really depends on the individual that you teach. The person you're teaching has to be ready, and then the methodology follows that. If the person you're teaching isn't ready to learn, it's hard for the teacher to do his or her job. So you have to find out if the students are motivated. If they're not motivated, then sometimes it's part of your job to motivate the students you're working with, especially if they're younger. Adults are motivated. Younger students aren't as well motivated, so that's why it's difficult sometimes to work with them. Okay, so it's 7:56, and I really got to get some other work done. Like I said, I just came on here, so I wanted to experiment a little bit with this live streaming. This has always been available, and like I said, I tried it in the past, but I think I'll try it again just to see what works, and maybe come up with some structure to this, because this isn't very well structured. It's just me talking off the top of my head. But I think if I came up with like a list of things to do on a regular basis when streaming, like did a little grammar, vocabulary, things happening in the news, just kind of go through a list of things to make it interesting. But I need to figure out how to insert video. I think that would make this interesting too. Like, here's on verb B. I would just insert that. You watch it, and then come back. Oh, my connection's unstable. So I don't know if this is still webcasting. I just got a little note up here that my connection was unstable. That could be because of my computer, or could be because of my internet. I have a terrible internet company. I use Comcast. They're terrible. CBS Studio. How to use CBS. Okay, I'll look at that. There's got to be different ways of doing this. I think if I use an encoder, Egla. Yes, I remember you. I think the same person. Egla. I'm not saying it right. Yeah, I recognize names from way back. I'm pretty good with names, and sometimes with faces. So what I used to do on my website is post the photos of people who visited the website, and I put their names and the country they're from. And then I stopped doing that because I wasn't really getting that many photos submitted. It took time to do that. And then with Facebook, a lot of people use Facebook for that kind of thing. So I stopped doing that. I don't really have control over the website anymore. Most of my attention is given now to, like I said, my regular job, and also the videos. That's where most of my effort will go now, I think, is making the videos. So anyway, I gotta go, and I'll figure this out over time, and just watch for that live feed. I assume it just pops up on YouTube, and you click on it, and here you are, and here I am. So just watch for that. I'll try to check in more regularly. Okay, everybody, have a good day. I don't know if I should post this. I think I can post this afterwards and people can take a look at it for what that's worth. Okay. Yes. Take care, everybody. Have a good day.